hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight here. My name is Danny. I work with Rem Alternus as a content manager and creative helper guy person thing, and also for Callus Game Labs. I'm the Shadowrun's mission developer, and so that's part of what's going on today. Is we are going to be playing a live stream here of Shadowrun missions, Chicago's story arc, which is 24 modules that generally get played in really condensed time frames. But we are going to uncondense that and really take some time to explore the story, explore the world, and explore kind of everything that's going on. We're going to be using Roll20 as our interface, so you guys will be able to see some of that. You'll be able to see the dice rolling, kind of see the results and everything. Whenever we're using any other tools, we're going to shout that out. We're going to let people know what we're using, how we're using it, so that they can maybe get a hold of those resources. Shadowrun missions are all available. Drive-Thru RPG, Callus Game Labs. You can get them where seasons 5 through season 8 are the Chicago arc. All of them are in the store. 24. It's a wild ride. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about who we are and who our cast is. So we'll start with Jen Pauley.
Hey, so I'm Jen. I am co-owner of the Geek Forge, and you can find it on Etsy or on our website. We do cosplay, props, and accessories, lots of things that glow. This is my first time playing Shadowrun missions and my first time playing with Rem Alternus, and I'm super excited about it.
All right, so with that, next up is Durya.
Hello, my name is Durya Rashad. I'm a digital media producer, and I also host 2 podcasts, and I'm an actor amongst a lot of other jack of all trades. This is my first time ever doing anything like this, either in person or on the internet, so I'm terrified. But I'm excited, so we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Next up, we have Sarah.
Hey guys, I'm the owners and CEO of Rem Alternus. I GM for our D&D episodical series that is right here on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Central. And I'm real excited that we got the official go-ahead from Catalyst to work missions. So as a story arc. So this is going to be really a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be here with you guys.
All right. And then just below Sarah, we have Thomas.
Hello everyone, I'm Thomas. I'm part of a few Shadowrun community around the internet, like the Emerald Grid and stuff like that. I also do a little bit of art and other things for Rem Alternus, and yeah, I'm excited to play some Shadowrun tonight with y'all.
Awesome. And last but not least, we've got Chris.
Hey everybody, it's me, Chris. I've been playing RPGs for about 6 years, and I'm also in the D&D Episodicals campaign with Sarah down here, and I also do the L5R stream. It's always a good time, and I'm looking forward to doing that here. I'm really bad at intros, if you haven't guessed.
Okay, so yeah, what we're doing tonight is a little bit different from some of Rem Alternus's other casts. Generally, everybody is really tied into the Twitch stream that's going on, and everyone's kind of chatting, and we're all kind of participating in that. But here we want to really focus on the story, make sure that everything is kind of playing out in character. So we still want that participation with Twitch. There are some kind of you can spend your bits, your coins and the like to give these guys a little bit of help. I'm trying to find where those are at. Oh my goodness, so unprepared. Pretty sure
I think I got it
anywhere in one of these things.
All right, so what you got is for points or bits. Points you earn, by the way, if you're new to Twitch, points you earn from watching over time. Bits is actual monetary donations. Like I think it's 100 bits is $1. So if you do a copper tier, that's 100 bits. We get NERPs. That gives us a couple of extra dice for a die roll. A silver is 250 bits. That's an auto hit. So that means that, bam, we got that hit. 500 bits is a free point of edge. That's huge. I only have one edge, guys. Give me all the edge and help me. Gold is 1,000 bits, and that is a forced GM reroll. So you can make him you can basically say nope to him. And then platinum is a smackdown. What does a smackdown mean, Danny?
Okay, so smackdown means that normally if you want to, really accomplish something, you're gonna burn a point of edge to really make it happen. It gives you 4 net hits automatically, so it's not just a success, it's 4 net hits. And generally we'll save these for like a situation where the chance of you getting any hits is probably really null, right? So I've seen people use smackdown to like just blow a one-shot a helicopter out of the sky. I've seen all kinds of ridiculous stuff with smackdown. So it's definitely it can definitely be a total game changer. So
for this, Danny, what is a follow worth and what is a subscription worth?
Oh wow! So a subscription is worth a smackdown. Like, come on now.
Ooh, wow, that's a deal.
Let's get a subscription here, and I feel like a follow is kind of your choice of whether you want to give a point of edge or if you want to do a force GM reroll. And that's that works for me. And these aren't, and I want to make sure everyone knows these aren't gonna the players aren't gonna see these right when they're offered. So just keep in mind that what you're doing is you're gonna give it to them. They're gonna get banked for use in the program during the duration of the program. Our moderators are going to come into. We have a really big NERPs handout that's going to be updated with all the edge and all the NERPs and all the hits and everything that everyone's going to get, so that they can kind of track that themselves and see it and just kind of keep it in mind that I don't only have 1 edge, I actually have 3 edge or whatever. And another note on that auto hit. So in Shadowrun, hit is a success on any given die roll, and multiple dice are rolled in a single roll. So that auto hit is an auto hit. So really that's going to be the difference between perhaps if they're just shy, they can kind of grab some of those auto hits and just kind of throw them into their roll to get that success. So it doesn't mean that it's an automatic success for the actual action. It's just additional hits that they can apply to the action to make it a success. And so that's our bennies. I think we're ready to kind of get into the story.
Yay!
All right.
I love stories.
So Shadowrun missions seasons 5 through 8 take place in the in Chicago, in like the post Bug City Chicago. So for those who are into Shadowrun lore, Chicago was kind of really destroyed over the past several decades. So like in the late 30s, terrorists kind of took out the Willis Tower, Sears Tower. That really messed up downtown Chicago. And then like 20 years later, there was the Universal Brotherhood was a cult that kind of built up. And then eventually the federal government found out that it was actually a front for like invading insect spirits that were melding with human hosts and then kind of doing their thing. Bugs claim that, it's a full meld, but people are pretty sure that the human host mind dies and the bug takes over. And so eventually they kind of got wind of that. They started doing this like infiltration and extermination. And when that happened, the Chicago hive actually was bigger than the Ares Firewatch team expected, and that hive just kind of burst open. Meanwhile, government was kind of trying to keep things under wraps. So when this happened, the UCAS government freaked out, and they just bulldozed several of the buildings on either side of the street all the way down to this big square to create the containment zone. And they just kept it under wraps. They said, "Oh, it's a virus, some sort of plague thing." And anyone tried to get out, they shot them because they couldn't be sure that it was just like a person who was taken over by insects or not, or if it was an actual person. Better to not take chances. They freaked out. Like, they dropped a tactical nuke right in there. It was just a mess, right? And for the next 3 years, the 100,000 plus people that lived there and were there when they closed that down, that's where they were, dodging bullets from Ares Firewatch teams that were coming in, running away from monsters, trying to make a living, and just kind of hell on earth, right? So 3 years later, Ares finally kind of gets in, and they feel like they've taken out the rest of the bugs. They've released some magical bacteria that kind of ate at anything that had magical ability through there, and they felt it was safe to open it up. Yeah, so they did. And that sucked for everyone living around the containment zone, as a lot of people who had been stuck in here for a long time just kind of came flooding out into those neighborhoods. Property values went because that's what everyone's worried about, right? But a lot of people stayed in the containment zone, and it just kind of became a sort of a squatter's haven, right? Fast forward 20 years. It's about, our year is 2075. That's where we're starting. And the new governor, Governor Presbytero, and the mayor have decided that they want to reclaim Chicago. And so they start an initiative called Project Takeback, which essentially is a corporate land grab. So they've just kind of said, hey, corporations, if you can kind of show some way that a building belonged to you, it's yours. We'll give you the deed. And so all the corporations are kind of coming in. They're kind of wanting to see, what's around, what's going on, what's valuable, maybe some of the old tech or old research projects and building projects that were going on during the time when everything closed down and they lost access to it. They're going to go in there and see if they can get their hands on that. And so it becomes a very lucrative time for the Shadowrunner, because these corporations are going to hire these Shadowrunners to go in there and check it out. This way, if there's still bugs in the basement, yeah, who cares? Shadowrunners, right? So that is where we are going to start at the beginning of near the beginning of this Project Takeback, 2075. It's the winter. Yep, deep winter, around February, I'd say. The snow has been blowing across. The city streets, ruined as many of them are in the containment zone. And we have 5 characters joining us. And they are each, in their own way, getting contacted for work. We're going to start with Sarah. Sarah, introduce your character.
Well, I'm playing Lila Rose. She is an elf, ex-military, covert ops and interrogation specialist, and she has really had an epiphany fairly recently on what the value of life really is, and she's got kind of a Buddhist approach to the value of life now. Now, that's not to say that she won't take a life, but she will make sure that, like, you have your choices that you could make when living your life, right? Like, it's always better to be able to live your life with 2 hands, or being able to hear your loved ones say that they love you. So she gets the information she wants, and she has come to Chicago because she thinks that there is a lot of chaos here, and she feels like she's called to help rebuild. So whatever that ends up meaning.
All right. Now, Lila is in Chicago. She's in the west side, just outside of the containment zone, just a few blocks away, in a condominium, probably somewhere between the 3rd and 8th floor, because that's she's the kind of person that keeps that kind of thing in mind. Higher than the 1st and 2nd, so people don't break in. Lower than the 8th, so you can get out if there's a fire. and she's kind of sitting down when she gets a buzz on her comm link.
I check it out, and if I recognize it, I'll accept the call.
You do recognize it. It's coming from a friend, maybe a little much, but friendly, an individual that you kind of go to when you have certain needs for certain, chemical concoctions. It's a troll. Goes by the name of Fluff. Just because the powder that he makes is light and fluffy, and yeah, that's who's giving you that buzz.
Hey, Fluff, what's going on today?
Hey, what is going on with you, little lady?
I haven't gotten to test out your most recent experiment, but I thank you for your donation to the cause.
Well, I'm sure you'll get around to it sooner than later. In the meantime, you said you were looking for maybe a little extra work here and about, so I've been kind of keeping my ear to the ground over here at the collective, and heard that there's somebody got a little bit of community service that they need to get done. Um, Wondering if you was maybe interested in heading out. It's a blustery day, so
uh, I am curious about your definition of community service, but I'm willing to check out the work. Sure.
all right. Well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna head up north a little bit of a ways. You'll probably want to catch a ride somehow. But you're gonna be going to Chicago's own pizzeria and meeting up with a young lady. Goes by the name of Quantum Princess.
Quantum Princess. I take a note in my comm link so that I remember the name.
Yeah. You'll know her by her eyes. They're like uh, purple with some sort of shiny gold thing in them. So stands out,
All right. When is this meeting set to take place?
Well, what's it like? 3 o'clock now, so probably want to get up there soon. I think she's wanting to get everybody there around 5 so that people can kind of head out before it gets way too dark.
And is the pizzeria in the CZ?
No, it's north, up north, far. You know, just put it into your comm and it should pop up.
All right. Yeah, so it won't take me as long to get through security at checkpoint then. So, yeah, 5 o'clock is doable.
All right. So, yeah, and if if it's a good payday, stop by and see what else I might have for you.
Always. I love visiting you.
All right. Well, good luck then, and don't don't slip and fall or nothing.
Appreciate it.
All right.
I'm gonna start loading up my my bag with or my robe. So Lila wears a long like blood red robe with a hood that kind of stops at her waist and so that she can access under her robe. And she's got tons of pockets in there with lots of apparatus. So she loads up some stuff she thinks she might need for a run and heads on out.
All right. If she's trying to catch a ride, public transport will get her up there. Actually,
Yeah, I'll take a cab.
Take a cab. All right. Yeah. So that's not too tough. Inside the CZ, finding a cab can be pretty difficult. There is no public transportation. Some folks are willing to risk a cab into the CZ, but it's rare. It's rare. Really hard to hail one anyway. But out in the corridor, there's public transportation. You can get a cab. They'll come and pick you up, easy peasy. And you give them the address or the name of the business, and they know it. And so soon you're on your way. So with that, we move on to Jen. Introduce us to Gertrude.
So I am playing Gertrude Jacoby, Gertie to her friends. Usually it's just Gertrude if she's in trouble. And she is a young troll who has been helping out people basically since she could walk. And she was doing some street talk work down in Atlanta and heard about what was going on up in Chicago and decided to brace the Great White North and head up to where she knows it's going to be much colder than it is at home.
All right. Um, Gertrude has found actually a rather um, fortunate situation for herself. She, being a troll and kind of going into Chicago, she was able to kind of get into the community just north of the CZ on the north side, where the Horde, which is a gang that is mostly made up of orcs and trolls, kind of control a bit of territory there. And having medical skills and having, for all intents and purposes, an ambulance, they gave her choice, her choice of digs, as long as it was close by their big clubhouse, which is on an old golf course. And so she's got a nice place. It's pretty big for what she's paying. It has a big garage, so she can park the ambulance in there, and it also has a sort of a side structure next on the garage, so that she has actually like a little kind of medical shop in there, so folks can kind of bring people in. She can fix them up for the right price, and no questions asked, right?
That's right.
And so she's doing her thing. It's cold today. Not a lot of not a lot of murder happens when it's cold outside, because even stone cold killers like to stay warm, despite what they are. And she gets a buzz on her comlink. It is a sort of a gold atom symbol over a purple screen.
Okay. She will answer her com.
All right. It just takes a moment for the face of a Hispanic woman, maybe middle-aged, kind of getting along a little bit. She has purple eyes with sort of gold atoms as irises, and she has a data jack up, and you recognize her as Quantum Princess, one of the few people that you kind of know from this area. Hola.
Hola, how are you?
I'm good. What are you doing anything today?
Not right at this minute. What
Hmm.
do you need?
I've got something that needs doing in the containment zone, and I'm getting together a few folks to take care of it for me. But I I think we're going to need a ride large enough for a handful of folks. And I know that you've got your big van, so maybe if you could, it's paying job. Uh, and I don't expect it should be too troublesome.
Uh, for you, Quantum Princess, Darcy and I would absolutely make the trip.
Okay. So I'm going to be at Chicago's own pizzeria at 5 o'clock, to meet with whoever is coming up. I've put some feelers out with some people around the town, and so I expect there'll be a small crew gathering around that time.
Okay. Yeah, I will absolutely see you there.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you then. Bye bye. And with that, hangs up. Now. Oh. Always with the losing people. Matrix woes. So we're gonna go to Durya. So Durya, kind of explain Kaida. Push to talk.
I am playing Kaida Nor-El. Kaida is a Nocturna. I put the little roll in the R just because I like to be fancy. Which is a elf. He was born of an elf, so he's got very, very light coating of fur. It's like blackish purple, but it's just light. You can't, he's a beautiful young man. Or he's 29. He grew up on the streets of Atlanta. His parents were never around. He always thought, he never knew what actually happened to them, but he always assumed that they had died. So he grew up in either foster services or running around the streets, learning how to hustle and make his money that way until he was awakened, which happened in his teen years. Once his awakening happened and his magical abilities manifested, he met this woman. Her name was Bonnie. I want to say her name right. Bonnie Power.
Yeah.
Bonnie Power. Bonnie Power took an interest and paid for me to go to college and to hone my magical abilities. And so basically, after I got out of college, I was in debt to her, and I spent time doing essentially anything and everything she wanted, from all manner of missions in Tokyo, Neo Tokyo. After my time in Neo Tokyo, I took some time to do some nomading, and I wandered the world with the money that I had made until she told me that Chicago was popping. So I came to Chicago to start over.
All right.
Was that enough?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Okay.
So Durya, when he says he's new to this, he means he's new to this. So this is his first RPG, and always really exciting to bring somebody into the fold. He's already kind of geeking out in other places, so like he's just adding this to his portfolio.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. So yeah, pretty much for the last 4 years he's kind of been drifting around, right? Living off that big bankroll that he kind of stored up. But it's getting low. I mean, it's not gone, but it's getting low, and he's looking for work. And so Bonnie, who he's kind of on friendly terms with, lets him know that Chicago's going off, and that she tells him specifically to find a troll that goes by the name of Lothan the Wise. And Lothan he's right in the noose, and so Kaida's just arrived into Chicago and has made his way into the noose. The place is a disaster. I mean, there's buildings that are ruined. You feel like maybe something could fall over at any time, like just one of these buildings could just collapse on you. There's rusted out junkers in the street that just haven't ever been moved for like the last 30, 40 years. And but there are people kind of moving around, and they mostly keep to themselves. Kaida's not too concerned because if anyone did try to give him trouble, he can handle himself. So he's just kind of moving through looking for Miller's Pub, which is where he was told he could find Lothan the Wise, and that's definitely in his little future Google Maps. And he's got it. He's just able to walk up there, and as he enters the pub, he notices it's got a few people in there that are sitting at the bar, and there is kind of sitting with his back to the door a very large figure with just these ostentatious robes that just kind of flow down, and he might be sitting on 2 bar stools. You're kind of sure he's sitting on 2 bar stools. He's got one under each cheek, just kind of getting comfortable there. And he's got his big old horns. And it looks like this is from the picture you saw, this looks like this could be the guy from the back.
Okay, so I decide to sit next to him on the bar, maybe a seat away, and order 2 of whatever he's having.
Okay. Yeah, so the bartender comes up, and so what'll it be?
Can I get 2 of whatever this gentleman's having?
I mean, yeah. You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. With that, he turns around and actually kind of goes past where all the just the various bottles of liquor are. Some of them are branded. You can see, what they are, and some of them are just, unlabeled bottles. Some of them have like black markings on them. You know, one's got like 3 X's on it. Just symbols so the barkeep can kind of keep in mind what they are. He goes around and he actually pulls up a plastic jug, and he just pours this into a glass about halfway, and then he comes back and works a few of the various sort of mixers into it, and then he just kind of brings it up and sets it down in front of you, along with the second one. And he just kind of like and with that, he steps away to serve another customer, but it looks like he's got his eye on you.
I feel like I'm being punished. Okay, so before I do anything, I look to the gentleman and I raise my glass and I say, to mutual friends. And then I wait to see what he does.
He takes his mug slowly.
Okay.
He lifts it and he tilts it in your direction, and then he takes a big drink from it.
And I do it the same as him simultaneously.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do right now. This is gonna be our first die roll of the game. I did not expect you very in.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna do this to me.
All right. So let's pull up that character sheet of yours, right?
Okay, I have it.
And we're using the character sheets that were programmed by Cassie Levitt of Emerald Grid. These are really nice. If you're on Roll20, I really recommend using these, and then supporting her Patreon, and just kind of helping out with that. Yeah, I mean, it's all like coded in and everything. So this makes it really easy. What you're going to do is you're going to be making a body plus willpower roll. So on the left-hand side of your character sheet, where all your attributes are, you're going to find the body one, and you're going to click it.
Left-hand side. Okay, got you.
Left-hand side. Yep.
Okay.
You're going to click it, and then it's going to ask you for your other stats. So you're going to scroll down to willpower on that one.
Okay. Submit.
And when willpower, and then you're going to submit.
Okay, where do I go now?
So,
I don't see anything.
All right. So what we see is on the chat, which is on the right hand side, we see that you've got 3 hits. All right. So you rolled 7 dice, body 3, willpower 4, and got 3 hits. All right. So this stuff is an interesting combination of disgusting, fire, and moonshine.
Oh.
And it just like it burns going down. You're pretty sure it's made with milk and eggs. Something else in there, maybe a little nutmeg. It's hard to really say, right? But it burns going down. That's for sure. But you managed to keep it down a little bit, and not hurt yourself in the process. He watches for a second, and then he nods. You Bonnie's boy?
Yep, that's me.
All right. Well, how you like Chicago?
It's very interesting so far, but I'm getting the hang of it.
I hear you're here for work.
I'm always looking to make a buck.
Well, good, because you can't stay here. I got something lined up for you already.
Details.
You got an hour and a half to get all the way up to the north side, Chicago's own pizzeria. You're gonna have to figure it out. If what Bonnie says is true, you can handle it.
Okay. Any suggestions?
Steal a car, float really fast,
Okay. I'll make do. Nice to meet you.
You're gonna drink the rest of those.
Those? There's more than one?
Well, there's two. You asked for two.
But the other one was for him.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch because he was already
That's
drinking
what
his.
you do when you
All
walk up to somebody when you say two for. Is that not what everybody does, or is that just in movies?
That is the thing. That is the thing that people do. Yes.
Okay.
But in this case, I thought you were like trying to show off. Like I got two.
It's a Southern courtesy.
All right. So are you going to drink the rest of your drink?
I thought I chugged it. That's not what happened.
No, you didn't. No, you got about a quarter, a third of the way down, and So,
but because you're asking, I'm assuming that if I don't drink it, there's a roll, and if I do drink it, there's a roll. So I might as well. So I take money out of my pocket and I put it down, and I say, "Have yourself another drink," and then, because I'm awesome, I chug the rest of the drink.
All right. So you kind of know what to expect this time. So we're gonna change this from the body and willpower to a willpower charisma or a composure roll. So you can just click the composure button, which is in the middle of that.
Okay.
Boom. All right. So you roll composure, so that's automatically combines your willpower and charisma, and you got 4 hits. So yeah, you're just like, I'm doing this and I'm keeping it down. You just keep it cool. You look good, look suave. Head back out into the cold to figure out how you're going to get there. And since Durya is new to the game, I'm not going to. He figures his way out, and it probably involves a little levitation, a little bit air spirits, good stuff like that.
Yes, I like that.
All right, so we're gonna move on really quick to Thomas. Introduce us to Etienne.
Yes, Etienne Casgrain is a neo-anarchist from Montreal. He's basically what the military call a construction battalion by himself. He's basically a walking toolbox. He's good with his gun. He's good with his shovel. He's good with the computers, the cars. He can fix or build pretty much anything you need in any situation. And he was sent to Chicago to help the anarchists' effort to basically undermine this new corporate project, to show the people of the community that if they come in and fix the building and take it, they too could claim it as their own. So that's a little bit of the project that he was sent there to help accomplish for the anarchists. For now, he's hanging out with the Desolation Angels because they were his main point of contact. They allowed him a place to live and a little shop to fix his things in exchange for fixing their things. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. So yeah, he is there in the containment zone, kind of on the northern part of the containment zone, centered a little bit. And they have given him a sort of a space, kind of in exchange for having him stay with in that area for the price that he is. They bring him stuff, and he's kind of been working on helping, keep everything up, especially during the winter. Winter in the CZs can be really difficult because infrastructure, they have none. So this particular sort of block is definitely, it's run by the Desolation Angels. Desolation Angels are an all-girl gang, and while they do get up to gang shenanigans in the zone, they're also kind of sort of a community, sort of they help keep the community going. And so in this particular block, they've got a clubhouse. They've got some things set up so that people can kind of come in and get things that they need. There's a women's shelter, and there's also a kind of across from that is a men's boarding house. Just kind of doing what they can. And as Etienne is in his workshop, the doors are all closed because it's cold outside. Probably got little fire going in a furnace. When that door opens and one of the local angels walks in.
All right. Bonjour, mademoiselle. What can I do for you today?
Hey, Etienne. Looking over, it's an orc woman. Probably in her late teens, early 20s, maybe. Just a little bit awkward. Etienne has found as he's kind of getting to know some of the people here. So Becky says that she's found something that you could maybe help out with. A friend of hers knows, but it's something that's right up your alley.
Okay. Always ready to help around here. It's just you want to? Should I follow you? And he picks up his tools from his.
No. Socks is getting a car, so she can take you up there. So if you want to meet in like 15 minutes, just down the block in front of the clubhouse.
Okay. If we need a car, where are we going? Should I bring like heavier stuff like the big gun or?
Fixing something, I think. I don't know. Probably, I mean, I would. You never know.
Yeah. No, you're right. You never know. I'll just fold it up a little bit and try and make it fit in the bag. Just in case.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. Bye.
Yeah.
He turns and walks back out to give you a few moments. Meanwhile, just about a block and a half away, in a room that's got 4 beds. One other bed is occupied, and the other 2 beds are empty at this time. And the occupied bed, however, the other occupied bed, that person isn't there right now. It's just Satchel. So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about Satchel?
Satchel was nobody. Like that's all everybody's ever told him. He was always just a bag of organs. But a useful nobody is what he is. He was trained to, get in, get out unnoticed, which is pretty easy when you have no social skills and cling to walls whenever you can. He and his brother Bag were loaned out to the Triad, for some wet work, sticky finger action to get in and out. But one day Bag went missing, and so he followed his trail up to Chicago, which is where he is now, just looking for his bag.
Looking for his bag.
Looking for his bag.
All right. And as it's super duper cold outside, and so Satchel's been keeping warm as best he can inside the boarding house. When a door slams, catching his attention. There's no doors for the rooms. Like all the rooms are just open doors. But the main hall at the end has a door, and he hears that slam, and then he hears heavy boot steps, boom, 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 up to his room, and suddenly, kind of appearing in the door frame, just kind of leaning on the door frame and like looking over, is a familiar face, one that you've kind of gotten to know in the last little bit here. He's an orc. He's got a sort of a bandana, tied to the back, so it's kind of capping up like that, with the Horizon corporate logo. It's really dirty. Leather jacket. He's like, hey,
what's going on, man?
Hey, look, you got to pay the rent. All right, I get it. So there's a car about to be kind of out the front, and I need you to get in that car and go and help with whatever they're doing, and then pay the rent. All right. So
Okay. Like, you don't have to be so like. I promise, I got your money, man. Just who's this,
yeah,
who's driving the car? Like,
just one of the angels is driving. She's driving the guy. He's the shop worker guy up there. So just hang out with him, help out, be like a assistant or something, and and it's paying. You get paid, and then I get paid, right? That's how this works. So chop chop.
do you know if she drives like well in the snow? I'm trying not to die.
What am I, like the drive tester guy or something here? But come on,
I'm
just
new here.
go.
Okay, fine.
All right, well, just tell her not to drive fast.
I guess I'll try.
Okay.
So, what do you know what kind of work we're doing? Like, should I bring anything? Like, should I?
What you don't even have anything. You got your stick and you.
I mean, you don't have to put it like that, but okay, I'll go.
All right. And with that, he steps out of the way to allow you to kind of go out into the cold. And you do see a car has pulled up, and Etienne is kind of starting to get in, and Satchel kind of runs up, opens this door on the other side, and Etienne, you see as you're about to go, sitting in the front seat of this Ford Americar with a with a Hispanic dwarf is driving. The front seat has kind of got the sort of containment zone dwarf modification, right, for drivers. It's that's a brick on the seat, and some poles kind of hooked up to the pedals. And yeah, so you probably I imagine you got in on the passenger side shotgun. So all of a sudden the back door opens, and you see this gentleman starting to climb on in.
Hey, oh, buddy.
Hey, okay.
What are you doing? And he looks at the dwarf in there. Is he part of the? I thought we were gonna go fix stuff.
Hey, I probably got the wrong car. You're totally right, dude. Like, hey.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no. Get in, guy.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy
Okay.
house was that guy house was, he overheard so yeah, he's, well, it's fine. Yeah. All right. And with that, the door closes, and you start heading down the street.
Do we know what's going on? House didn't know too much.
No, that wasn't tell much. I mean, if they got me, I assume they want something fixed, but no details.
Something fixed. Okay. And then I just kind of like slink back into my chair, into my seat.
All right, and the rest of the ride continues in sort of a awkward silence. There comes a point where the driver, one of the Desolation Angels, her name is Socks, starts like fiddling with the radio that doesn't work. All you get is a lot of static, but she's like, switching to different channels of static, trying to make sure, something's got, and then finally she gives up and drives the rest of the way. As you are leaving the containment zone, you notice that there are no Lone Star officers at the checkpoint. Lone Star's a private corporation that runs the police force in Chicago. They tend to not go into this containment zone itself too much, but they do patrol in the corridor, the north, just outside of the containment zone, and they've got checkpoints set up, to kind of make sure that no riffraff leaves. Sometimes the checkpoints get a little bit unmanned, and people in the know sometimes can know which ones have people at them and which ones don't. Otherwise, it becomes a hassle as they're checking people, usually coming out of the CZ for things like their sin and what are you doing and why are you coming out here. Going into the CZ, they're a little more lax, but generally it's an avoidable problem as long as you got a little bit of credit. So with that, around 5 p.m., people seem to be converging on Chicago's own pizzeria. And now we actually get into the mission. So real quick, this is Shadowrun mission season 5, mission 1, Chasing the Wind, written by Robert Loper, legendary in Shadowrun circles, I hear. And
He's in the chat too. I think I saw him. He's joined us
what?
here.
Do we got the writer in the chat? That is amazing. Awesome.
No pressure, Danny. Don't mess up.
No, man. Don't mess up this guy's stuff. All right. And of course, I'm the missions developer now, but when this was written, the missions developer was Stephen Bull Rakovich. Bull is, yes, that there's a legend in Shadowrun circles, and that is Bull. So shout out to both Robert and Bull for the amazing mission and the amazing story arc that followed. And with that, let's move on into Chicago's own pizzeria. Who gets there first? It is probably gonna be one of Jen or Lila.
I can get there. I'm happy with moseying on in there.
All right. Yeah, you step inside and it's sort of got that classic look to it, right? There's no AR ads outside. So normally when you're in a commercial place, your image link and your comlink get inundated with like spam, right? AR stuff. Pizzas for a pizzeria, it would be like pizzas on sale or buy one get one free kind of thing. But no AR ads at this particular location. And as soon as you step out of the cab, you can smell just the bread and sauce and meat, and it's got that sort of quality to the smell where it smells real, and not a lot of places do real meat, especially in the corridor, even as far away from the CZ as you are. You're at like South Milwaukee at this point.
So this is basically a place I can't afford.
Probably a little bit pricier, if all things considered, but it's where you're meeting. Looking over, you see that there's bars over the windows to kind of keep people out. You see that there's razor wire over the top so that people can't climb in and get in. It seems much, but then in this part of town, in this part of the country, you kind of want to be safe. So,
well, I'm gonna maybe take a look around the outside, make sure like I don't see anyone shady watching me, and then I'm gonna head on in.
All right. Inside, it's very warm. It's kind of this cozy sort of reddish brown color everywhere around, and it's definitely kind of a cozy, homey sort of place. You see people in the back cooking. It's open so that you can actually see where they're prepping the pizzas, and it's mostly empty. There's a couple of there's a family, of humans kind of sitting in one side, and then there is a woman sitting by herself in a large booth.
Does she have weird ass purple eyes with some gold in them?
It's hard to tell in the dark, but as you look, you see kind of a reflection, kind of glint off her eyes that make you think that they're they're probably shiny in some way.
As I see her, I kind of kick myself for not asking this on the call with it was Fuzz, right? Fluff. But I walk up to her and kind of look at her and go, kind of whisper, "Your Highness?"
She gives you a moment, and then she kind of nods and says, "Please have a seat, and here's a menu. You can look over, get what you like, or if you want to wait, then some of the others will be here, and maybe you order something together. I don't know, but please feel free, and we'll get the ball rolling." As she's saying this outside, there is a ambulance, a large van, GMC Endurance, that kind of rolls up on the street, parking curbside there, and seeing much the same thing, the red brick building, no AR spam coming from the building itself. In the neighborhood, there's a little bit, but it's not too bad in the corridor. Are there any precautions you take as you park? Anything that you're doing special before you head inside?
I will make sure to not park too close to any other sort of vehicles that might be in the parking lot. Partially for just because it's a large vehicle, and partially for safety reasons. I will turn on the anti-theft device as I leave, and take a quick look around, and then walk into the pizzeria.
All right. So walking in the pizzeria, much the same. You see the family. You see a woman taking a seat next to Quantum Princess, and as you walk in, and as she has handed you that menu, and as you're sitting down, Lila, Quantum Princess looks over and kind of waves.
Okay, I look over at our newcomer and just raise a hand in greeting.
Gertie smiles real big and waves and walks over very confidently.
All right. Meanwhile, the heater went out about halfway on the journey in the car, and so the second half of the ride, it was a lot of Socks kind of cursing and like hitting the console and sort of kind of kicking at it. But she doesn't stop. There's enough residual heat in the car that it's just starting to get cold as you arrive, and the car pulls up, and she looks over and says, "All right, well, I guess call Becky if you need a ride back."
Estara, what are we doing here?
Oh, go inside, and Quantum Princess, she's she's
She's here? Why didn't she call? All right, let me. Once I get back to the block, I need to check that car of yours. That poor thing.
Yeah. I'm actually I got a friend. I'm gonna go over there. I don't want to drive it all the way back without heat. That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Well,
Piece
thanks
of
for
crap.
getting us here safely.
Yeah. You're welcome, guy.
Yeah.
You didn't drive too fast, and yeah, it's great.
It's kind of slippery. I didn't want to. Yeah.
That's what I
Anyway,
would say in the house, but he didn't care.
I mean,
kind
it's
of
not that bad. Come on, just a little bit of ice and snow. It's just not.
I'm not from up
yeah.
here.
You need the right tire. That's all.
Well, anyway, good luck. You're holding the door open, and it's cold. So.
Wait. There's only.
Yeah.
Just close the door.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck. Bye. Yeah. And she kind of drives off, leaving you standing outside of Chicago's own pizzeria. And just as you're about to step in, you do see kind of whisking forward down the street, maybe about 5 feet off the ground, not really caring who notices, and like a whoosh of wind kind of just pushing him along is a dark, looks like an elf coming up on you as Kaida arrives and then dismisses his spirit of air.
Howdy.
Etienne is going to flinch a little bit towards the end all of his shovel and go like, hello?
Hello.
And so I then spark a little lightning in my hands and say, howdy.
Okay, kid.
I go
Keep it
inside.
cold, buddy. Hey, don't. What are you? Okay, we got business to attend to. I don't know who you are and what you're doing. I'm gonna go inside. Careful with the finger wigglings. But not everybody around is that keen at that kind of stuff. But fleshy though, I look all right. I mean,
So I unflash the I take my lightning wing and I hold the door. I say, after you.
Okay. He walks in like not too sure.
All right. So yeah, the door opens. Ladies see kind of first sort of a nondescript gentleman walks in. Kind of, he's got a cane. He looks like he's got maybe a limp or something going on. Kind of looking around, and then shortly after, the door opens again, and Etienne and then Kaida enter. So just a quick note. Most of these folks have armor jackets. Kaida, just so everyone gets that kind of picture, he does have that sleeping tiger that is, and I believe that Lila has the sleeping tiger too. Is that right? Did I remember that right?
Has what?
Lila's armor?
I think so. It sounded all. I pretty much build my characters on what sounds cool. So.
Yes. So different styles. There's a lot of styles of Sleeping Tiger. Sleeping Tiger is just like it's a line by Zoe Fashions, and so both of them are looking pretty good. It's high end. It's pretty pricey jacket, but it protects you from bullets, and that's great. So just so everyone kind of gets that picture. Yeah. So with that, you guys step in, and you see in the corner there are 3 ladies. One is the Hispanic lady that Thomas is expecting to see, and the other 2, one is a troll, and one seems to be an elf woman with sort of a duality to her face paint. The only other people in here, besides the staff in the back and one waitress who looks like she's about to head to a table, but then looks at you and doesn't know maybe she should help like seat you or something, is a family of 4, including 2 children. So process of elimination, the 3 ladies is probably where you're going to want to go sit.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys done?
Oh yeah, we're done.
You done? All right, cool.
Yeah, someone comes in flying and sparkling. You gotta make sure everything is correct.
Okay.
Let's just go.
Just keep your hands where I can see them. How about that?
Yeah, you too.
Right.
Come on.
All right. A little hemming and hawing, and then eventually the 3 men come sit at the table. And at this point, Quantum Princess looks over everybody and nods and says, so the pork sausage is really good here. If you want, I can just get like a big 2 pies, 3 pies for the table. And we can eat and talk a little bit of business.
I
like eating.
What?
That's very kind of you. Thank you for the generosity.
I'd love some good food.
I'd be happy to have some pizza.
But next time you Princess, next time you invite me in a restaurant, maybe let the others know, because I don't. And he looks at himself with his basically combat gear and his bag of tools. Like, I feel a little bit out of place.
All right. Well, I wasn't sure who Becky would send, so my apologies. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, all right. So with that, here you are in Chicago's own pizzeria. So I have yes. So we're changing our little map area here in Roll20. So everybody should get a good glimpse, a good picture of what everybody kind of sees inside Chicago's own pizzeria. So right.
Oh, that's nifty. It's like the little menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what we mean when we talk about AR. Is you have that sort of see-through deal. Looks like so Tom is set on as a GM, you're gonna have to click the little page toolbar at the top that has, it's like a little blue paper folding over, and then you're going to click over to Chicago's own pizzeria there. So, all right. Great. Just a picture, so everybody can kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, it's coming up for you guys. No worries.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, she orders and drinks are kind of brought around. Looking around at the table. She says, "So, yes, this thing I need done. It shouldn't be too difficult, but it's really cold, and so I guess I should probably pay a fair amount for having to kind of go into the CZ, even though there is no expectation of a fight or a battle in the CZ. You can never be sure. So what I need for you to do is well, two of my signal repeaters in the zone are they're failing, and so that's messing with some of the matrix accessibility throughout the containment zone, especially in those areas. One of them is especially important. It's Midway Airport, which is one of our supply hubs in the zone. So I need you to replace the two repeaters, one at Midway and the other is in a place, Garfield Park, in one of the it's set in one of the trees. So if you can do this for me, I can probably pay you, I think, 4,000 nuyen for this job. That's of course, each of you. What do you think?
I mean, oh, excusez-moi, madame, allez-y. He gestures for Lila to speak first.
I kind of look around the table at who we've got here, and then pipe up and say, so we're headed to look for a specific tree in Garfield Park that's going to have, I'm sorry, what now?
It'll be a box, and inside the box is the old repeater, and you're gonna replace it with these. She reaches down and pulls out a pair of these repeaters. Oops. So it's basically just a sort of a small box. There's some wires. Looks like some antenna stuff. This is yes. So you're gonna replace the one in there with this one. The old one I suppose you can do whatever you want with it. Maybe
I'll
some
salvage it and maybe use it somewhere else if we need it.
Do you
So
have?
that
Go ahead.
so that's when I pipe up and say, "Well, what's the catch? You need 5 people to replace 1 box. Why?"
Maybe you don't know much about Chicago, but it is dangerous in the zone. Um,
I'm
even
new to
though
the
I
city.
yes, even though I don't expect there to be trouble, and even though you are not, the job does not require violence directly, um, there are many things that can happen in the zone, and it's always good to uh, have someone to kind of, you know, keep everything safe. And since I really need these repeaters, I don't want to risk just sending 1 or 2 and then something happening to them and my repeaters.
Okay.
I look around the table and go, well, I think you've assembled a pretty strong crew to get this done. So we'll tell you what, we can get it done with the due amount of urgency. If you could throw in a little extra for us, and I give her a little wink.
Well, go ahead and make that test. This is going to be a negotiation plus charisma, but you should just be able to hit your negotiation button. So on your character sheet, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, no matter what tab you're on. All right. So you have rolled your negotiation charisma plus negotiation. You've got 2 hits out of what looks like a total of 8 dice. And your social limit is 9, so well under your social limit. So we get to keep all of those. Sarah, you do have an edge from Sarah's mom. If you would like to re-roll some of those.
Thanks, mommy. Yeah, I'll post edge it.
All right. So go ahead and just on your character sheet, there's a dice symbol at the top that you can just click that and tell it how many dice you want to roll. So that's going to be 6 dice, I believe.
I'm having an off day, guys. It's all right.
Okay. Well, one additional hit. That's good. That's good. Let's see what happens with Miss Quantum Princess here. Well, that was pretty good. She got 4 out of her roll. I tell you what. It is a blustery day, and I know that there might be other things that need doing around town. I can kind of check with some of my contacts and see if there's maybe anything else that can be done while you're in town that can just maybe add to it while you're doing errands anyway.
I get the feel that like that's kind of the best offer that I'm going to get, and I go, once again, I appreciate your generosity. Thank you.
Very. Yes. Oh, here's the pizza. I am going to take mine to go. I do have some things that I need to do and take care of. I
Oh,
leave
by
the
the way,
repeaters. Oh, yes.
have you seen a bag nearby?
I don't know what you're trying to tell me
Never mind
or
then.
ask. Oh, okay. And she kind of gets up, gives Satchel a little bit of a awkward look, and then packs up several pieces of pie into a box and slowly ambles towards the door. Good luck.
Miss Highness Princess, do you have the coordinates for where we can find these small boxes?
Not to the specific degree. But as I said, Midway Airport, I believe they have that on the tower, the control tower. And then the one in Garfield Park, I think it's in the main part of the park.
We should be able to find it via the matrix, though, right? What? If it's broken or default or faulty, I should be able to spot it by a noise generation or something.
Perhaps, or if it's still giving off a signal to the device itself. There are not many devices in the zone operating, so it should be easy enough to find.
I nod at Thomas's character.
No, say it.
I can't. What is it?
Etienne.
Etienne.
There you go. It's not that bad.
I just forgot what it was. I was like, nah. Also, we haven't been introduced, so don't tell me to say it.
Seeing that the question seems to be answered, she kind of nods and turns and steps outside. The pizza in front of you they're large, cheese and sausage, and the sausage is real meat and is absolutely delicious. So in the future, meat is a luxury. Most things are made of soy or maybe krill or some sort of tofu kind of thing, and people are real sad. Luckily, in the future, I can't believe it's not meat is popular enough and actually comes close to the real thing, so they say. But it just never, real meat just it has this like heft to it, right? So it is definitely a little bit of a treat for those who enjoy that kind of thing. And with that, we'll allow you guys to kind of sit at the table and stare awkwardly at each other.
I start eating pizza.
Well, hello there, new friends. I'm Lila. Maybe we should all introduce ourselves and what our special skills are for this little mini mission here.
What? So who goes first?
Well, as I said, I'm Lila, and I can get into places without being seen. I'm fairly good in a fist fight, and I'm very good at extracting information if needed.
Are we using our regular names? Isn't this supposed to be some sort of secret?
I was told that we do not have Shadowrunner names yet.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you can have something that you might like to have to call yourself. It may or may not stick.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, then, instead of Lila, I'm going to give you guys my one of my sin names. So we'll go with Felicia.
All right.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Etienne. I fix things. I can do stuff with the Matrix. I guess that's why I'm here. And I'm not too bad at shooting stuff either.
Is there any way I can get some Parmesan cheese?
Man, there's like centimeters of cheese on that. Why do you want to add more?
I mean, I guess it's a Caribbean or like an American thing. You put more cheese onto the pizza. It just enhances the flavor.
He's
Yeah,
right
but I
about
think I kind of agree with that. The same thing with
Okay.
poutine, but there's a limit. Like, do you reach? This thing is thick.
I know it's kind of like a lasagna or like
Yeah.
it's more a casserole than anything.
It's very good though. It says remind me of home. And anyway, you go on.
I kind of laugh at them and then and look at Chris's character and say, and who might you be?
You can just call me Satchel.
Satchel.
Nice to meet you, Satchel.
And what do you do, Satchel?
I do whatever needs to be done. I just try not to make a scene. I'm just here to pay the rent, okay? And free pizza is always a good time.
Her smile falters a little bit at that, and she looks a little concerned. But then she kind of blinks and looks at Jen's character.
Most people call me Gertie, and I fix metahumans instead of things. So Darcy and I came along to see if we could help out.
Darcy?
Gertie sort of thumbs over her shoulder at the ambulance-looking vehicle in the parking lot.
Oh, hello, Darcy. She looks uncertain.
That boy, that's some beauty you got out there. Good job.
Thanks.
And last, but I'm sure not least, and I look at Darya's character.
Don't shake his hands.
I'm Kaida, and as far as what I do, can I use some magic right now? Do I have to roll if I do that?
What do you want to do?
I just want to levitate the pizza to my hand and then take a bite.
If you're just levitating just the pizza to your hand to take it like a slice, you just do it.
Okay. As far as what I do,
Yeah, why use that finger with their magic thing?
Well, it is always helpful to have one of the rare blessed with magic. So welcome.
Thank you. Finally, one who appreciates my gifts.
Well, elves got to stick together.
All right. And with that, the group, having now introduced each other and gotten a sort of an idea of what everyone can do, they continue eating the rest of the pizza because that is not going to waste. Satchel probably put some in a box to take back because when's food gonna happen again? Hard to say. And we're at the halfway point of the session, so we are going to take a 10-minute break and see everybody on the other side of that. So yeah, with that, the group finishes up their meal, and heads out to the parking lot where they're going to take the only ride into the containment zone that they can, which is the ambulance, because nobody else has a vehicle. Go ahead, Jen, and give us a little description of the van, the exterior that they see, and then the interior as they enter into your domain.
Sure. So Darcy is a black and gray GMC Endurance. It looks very similar to what Dockwagon would use as an ambulance, minus the flashing lights and any sort of corporate logo. It may have been a hand-painted job, possibly some sort of vehicle that was acquired secondhand and repainted. And so as you get up to the van, Darcy turns off Gertie turns off the anti-theft device, and she looks at all of you for a minute. She says, "Watch your head." No, I'm just kidding. None of you are going to hit your head on anything in here. And she slides open the side. And inside, it looks like the inside of an ambulance with some extra seating. So there is a Valkyrie module, which is basically like a life support system. And there are some benches on the other side and some medical supplies in some little cubbies. And there is a port on the side for a gun.
Which side?
It is on the driver's side, so on the left side of the vehicle.
I have
All right.
never felt so prepared to go into the CZ.
Yeah.
Alright.
Does the heater work?
Yes, the heater definitely works.
It
You've
works
even
really
seen
good.
all that stuff? Of course the heater work. Wow. He's just
right.
appreciating the car for what it is.
All right. So everyone trundles up into the ambulance. Anyone riding shotgun?
Not me.
I'm
I'm in
going to
the back.
position myself near the gun port, just in case.
I'll sit up front with you, Gertie.
All right.
I'll
So
fit
yeah, with
wherever I
that,
can.
Lila / Felicia, as she has named herself,
Call
sits up
me
front.
Flea.
Flea?
Fifi.
Fee?
You said Fifi or Flea?
Flea.
Flea.
Flea. Okay.
Fly.
Me? Oh,
Fly.
okay.
Okay.
I see that.
So, all right. So everyone gets up into the vehicle, and with that, Gertrude starts the engine right up and gets it going. We got our little driving image here so that we can all pretend like we're riding along. And it's in this part of the CZ. There's not there's enough traffic in the north, as far north as you guys were, that that a lot of the vehicle traffic has gone through and kind of pushed a lot of the snow aside. So it's not super slippery here, but it does get worse as you head south towards the containment zone. It's going to be a little bit of a drive, and there's definitely some decisions that you all have to make, probably as a group, because you do have 2 destinations.
So what it's looking like is it's going to take us about an hour to get down there, maybe a little bit less if I drive faster, which
Please
I
don't
might.
drive faster.
Going fast is the best part. But our 2 destinations are about 20-25 minutes apart from each other. So I'm not really from here. So if anybody's got any words of wisdom about which one you want to do first or the best way to get there, that sort of stuff.
I think Midway's further south than Garfield Park, right?
Yes. That's what my maps off says.
Hey, my real life Chicago knowledge is paying off here, guys. I mean, with the CZ, it's going to be kind of hard to navigate around all the debris anyway. So I'd say probably just the straight shot to Garfield Park and then head south to Midway from there.
So which one's in Garfield Park? The repeaters?
There's repeaters in both places.
Yeah. And I got the repeaters here to replace. We're good.
Okay.
I agree.
Are we gonna pass any checkpoints on our way there?
Can we make a roll, Danny, to see if one of us knows a smuggler way route in, or?
So you can if you'd like to make a roll for, let's see, does anyone have streetwise or any sort of street knowledge skill? Perhaps a Chicago area knowledge skill? Mm.
Not Chicago.
Something.
No. Where do I look for that?
So on your skills, where on the left side of your sheet, where you kind of scroll down, you see all your skills, and then there's tabs for languages, knowledge skills, and active skills.
Aha.
All right. Well, none of you really kind of knows how the checkpoints sort of work out.
I mean,
Could I use my magic to figure that out? Since we don't have street knowledge.
There is sort of a way. But
I
it's
mean, that's
like
the only way we're gonna find out, right?
it's a roundabout way, right? So you would like summon a spirit, and then you might have like your spirit sort of check the different areas to see if there's folks, but it'd be kind of it'd be a little bit almost harder than it's worth.
What
The
about
check, okay, because I was gonna.
checking the matrix to see if anyone has knowledge, any of the
Yeah.
do we have someone that's particularly good at that?
Yeah, I
Should
can
call
do
Logan
that.
the Wise? Oh, never mind.
I can definitely take a look. Maybe you can find somewhere where they keep track of that sort of thing. And from his bag, he takes out this big bulky deck that has like a fleur de lis sticker on it, and then when it turns on, everything is in French, and he plugs in.
All
Hey, I
right,
can
so you're
read a little bit of that.
Thicker stuff.
all right. So plugging into the matrix, there's outside of the CZ, there's at least enough signal that there's no noise issues other than
Okay.
that which is imposed by the weather and then just kind of distance. So what exactly are you kind of looking for here?
Basically, I'm gonna search if there's anywhere I can find rotation schedule for checkpoints to see if I can find anyone that would be left unattended for a little slip of time that we can slip in.
Okay. So you figure that that's probably going to require either hacking into either hacking into Lone Star itself,
Yeah,
which
don't think
eh,
yeah.
and that has the benefit of you can find that host, but it does have the detriment of that's going to be a rough hack.
Yeah.
Or you
What about is there a way I know of to get in since I live close to the wall of the CZ from my neck of the woods?
probably, but not in an ambulance.
Oh.
So definitely going to need to get to find a road that kind of goes in. That said, you can also you figure that that information would probably also be contained on like the comm links and or some of the police cars of the Lone Star. So maybe if you roll near a checkpoint, and then you can find a vehicle or a Lone Star officer that you can then try to hack their comm link or vehicle for that information.
Okay. Well, it's gonna let everybody know that's a possibility that he can offer. And yeah, if we want to do that, that's a possibility. If not, I mean, I got papers maybe for most of the stuff. If you have a smuggling compartment, I can just put the gun in there in the deck.
I'm sort of a loud and proud kind of girl, so I don't do a whole lot of smuggling and sneaking. Sorry.
Well, it's fine. It's just, yeah. Okay. Loud and proud. I like it, but a bit complicated to pass checkpoints.
I mean, we can go through a checkpoint. Does everyone have a decent sin?
Yeah, but if they scan for like stuff, they may find things that they won't like.
Okay.
But to get in, it's a little bit easier. Maybe we can sling them a little bit of Nuyen and they'll look the other way.
Durya, I feel like you keep talking and forgetting push to talk. You're making great faces though.
I was just face acting, but I do have an idea. So so who has sorry, your name again was Philly?
Flea. Like
Flea.
like the
Like
bug
if you say
dog.
Felicia real fast. Felicia. Gotcha. Okay, so what if we went to the checkpoint? If we encounter one, you're driving. No, you're not driving. You're driving. Yes. So you drive, and then as we go up to the checkpoint, I could just do a glamour on everybody else so they only see one person in the car. She's got a sin that works, so they'll only check her sin and they'll say whatever and let us go through.
That could work as long as everyone runs silent. Turn off all your.
That's what I do best.
Here.
And speaking of which, except for you, Gertie, I know usually people who drive that kind of rig can hold their own on the Matrix, but other people, if you're spooked by possible Matrix opposition, I can cover you with my deck. If you just leave your device to mine, I can hide us from pretty much anything.
That's a neat trick.
Well, as I said, good at computer stuff.
All right.
All right.
So
well, it sounds like we have a decent plan here.
Okay.
Let's make sure though that, like, I know sometimes with mages, like, you have good intentions and the execution just doesn't quite get there. So, like,
Is
let's
that
do
shade?
before we roll through.
And at that point, internally, kind of feels extremely shaded and throws his eyebrow up.
I don't think she meant anything by it.
We've
Like,
Oh, but he doesn't say nothing because that's not his way. He just throws the eyebrow up.
he's
and that's
just
it.
he's just going to be passive aggressive toward me the rest of the campaign. That's fine.
Pretty, or
This is
at
gonna
least
be
the
a
rest
great
of this one.
2-year campaign, guys. I've already pissed someone off.
we're going to be great friends.
I like
All
you.
right.
Well, and if things go really bad, I do have a body bag in the back.
Yes, I'm riding with her. I like that. Kind of just that just hyped me up. I'm like, yes, okay, I'm with the right crew.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna go ahead and kind of cast some invisibility spells on some folks. So definitely casting invisibility spells. You kind of want to cast them on the people who are the most worried about their sins first. Because remember, as you have one spell up and you're casting it again, like each time you have that sort of a difficulty in casting additional spells, right? Because you have to kind of focus on them all. So let's see. Probably you don't care about your sin, and
I don't.
you don't
have
know
one.
what everyone else's thing is, though.
Oh,
So, are we gonna do this? Who's invisible? Who's not?
Well, I assume, Gertie, you've got a strong fake sin.
It seemed to work so far.
Okay, here that's not as confident as I would have liked to hear. But
Also, I'm driving, so maybe making me invisible would be a bad idea.
well, that's why I'm saying you use that sin to get you through.
mhm.
Mine's decent
How
too.
do we know whether our sin is good or not?
You have a rating on your sin, and if
Uh-huh.
you're a rating 1, let's not push our luck.
Okay, then I need to be invisible.
This is what I like to tell people. Okay? Like, the rating 6 sin is everything, right? Like they have built the ID packet. They have put in Google history into Google for you. Like everything is in there. You are a person. They have medical metadata in hospitals and stuff. So like no matter what, they'll find that you're a real person. And so that goes down like 4, 3 is pretty good. It's might be missing like your Amazon shopping history or something. 2 is like, all right, they've kind of put you into sort of the national database, so you're actually so if they look you up remotely, you'll be there. And then 1 is a little ID card that says McLovin on it, and that is and that's it. That's what you got.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be invisible, and I believe he's gonna be invisible.
He's
So
going
that's
to be
two.
invisible.
Yeah, I'm
So-
fine with not. I can get by on my sin, and I'm a pretty good talker if all else fails.
So it's Satchel, Kaida, and Etienne are gonna be invisible.
I mean, you two first. I got one that's okay. Should do the
Okay.
job. It's just that they tend to raise an eyebrow, even though I have to send when I'm walking around with the gear that I
So-
had.
Okay, so do I roll that down, Danny?
So what you're gonna do is, yes, you're gonna cast these spells. So you're gonna pick a target. It's either gonna be you or Satchel, whoever's first.
Okay, I'm gonna start with me, since
All right.
apparently my magic can go awry sometimes. I'm
Okay.
gonna start with me.
So go ahead and click on that improved invisibility, and you're gonna pick a force. I'm gonna recommend 4 through 6.
So just put that, or pick 4 through 6.
4, 5, or 6.
Oh, I put
Okay.
4 through 6.
Oh, okay. So try again, and just push it with the well, we'll call it a 4. You got 3 hits.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
3 hits on a 4. So you have that level of invisibility, and go ahead then and hit that dice thing so that you can see how much drain you take.
Okay.
Drain is 2. You soak all the drain, so it doesn't tax you at all. You are fine. A-okay, good to go. The next thing that happens is you're going to, I believe this is the right one. Go ahead and cast it again. This time it's Chris Satchel, and again, put a 4 there. Just put a 4.
Okay.
Oh well, that's unfortunate that you got 6 hits. So you only keep 4 because the force was 4. Your drain looks like it's actually a 3. So you only got 1, so you're going to take 2 points of stun damage as a result of the drain, but you're fine. Let me see, 6. So that didn't work. Last 2. Okay, so you're fine. You just took a little bit of kind of in the back of your head, you got a little bit of a headache, but it's not bothering you too much. And now you're just kind of holding those 2 spells. Are you going to cast again for Thomas?
I thought we were just going in with us two. I thought Etienne said he had one.
All right.
But yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I
So
can
you can
cast
just-
it.
You can just do this? So like look at my invisibleness.
So can me and since we're both invisible, can we still see each other though?
So the question is, can you see each other? So anyone who wants to see Kaida needs to roll logic plus willpower.
So do I need to roll logic plus willpower to see Satchel?
I'm going to say that the wizard can kind of like see his own invisible people like as an outline.
I like that.
So like you don't really see him fully, but you kind of know where he is.
No, that's cool.
You can always also
So-
use your astral perception, and then you can.
Oh yeah, then you'll see him for sure, because you can see into that astral plane, the magic plane.
Cool.
Yeah, so Etienne definitely it worked. Those guys are definitely invisible. Satchel can see neither himself or Kaida. So gonna have to just kind of rely on that just ability to say my feet are in the right place. My feet are in the right place. I'm not gonna trip. And you
I
guys
like
continue
this.
on. Driving into the CZ, you do come upon somebody. Let's get well, since Gertrude's driving, let's have Gertrude just roll a straight edge roll. Because in 5th edition Shadowrun, we like to use edge as a luck stat.
So how do I do that with this particular sheet?
All right, so on the left-hand side is where your personal data, and under that, your attributes. And then there's a button that says edge. You're going to click that, and it will then give you an input value to kind of combine it with. Go ahead and hit none. So it's just the edge. All right. All right. So this is a good time. Because you see, you had one die to roll, and you rolled that one die, and that one die was a 1. And when more than half of your dice come up 1, that is what we call a critical glitch.
What?
So everybody, we have our first critical glitch of the game.
Oh no!
Who did it happen to?
The driver, as she's trying to decide what's the best way to get in.
Okay.
Get into the CZ. So yeah, as you're kind of rolling in, you get to the checkpoint of the CZ, and you kind of looking around, and it looks quiet. There's a couple of Lone Star cars just sort of parked, but you don't see any actual Lone Star officers.
Well, this looks perfectly safe. They must be out for coffee or donuts or something. We got really lucky with this, y'all.
That's gonna be the ad for this week, is just well, this must be perfectly safe.
This must be perfectly safe. All right. So with that, it starts kind of driving through, and let's have our people in the front that actually have windows they can look out. Give me a perception test. So if you just scroll down from where the attributes are, you'll see in your skills is your perception test. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And and by the way, if you don't have a skill and it's a defaultable, the top default skill will automatically do that for you. Did you get? Are you gonna roll that for Gertrude? She's kind of driving and looking. There we go. Okay, so yeah, as you're kind of driving, you look to the left and you look to the right, and you notice that there's the snow, the falling snow. A lot of it, has been crushed down by people walking back and forth. And then there's a lot of splatters of sort of red all along the side of the snow, where it's kind of melting down, and that's on both sides. And then Gertrude, you're pretty sure that's a booted foot kind of sticking out from behind like a car that's parked on the side. You're kind of like, wait a minute, as you're looking, and that boot definitely is connected to a leg. You're pretty sure there's a body back there.
Good thing we got a body bag.
Just kind of lying on the ground. And then as you're continuing on, you see the blood. Gertrude sees an actual foot on her side, on the driver's side.
Gertrude, maybe you could drive faster.
I might have overstated the safety of this.
And then suddenly a door opens to the checkpoint, and you see a guy's there, and he's like surprised that the ambulance is going by, and he's dressed in sort of a black jacket with sort of red bands on the sleeves on both sides. He's an orc. He's got like just a sort of a bicycle helmet without the face shield, and a rather hefty looking automatic rifle in his hand. You don't know what he yells because you're inside with the windows up because it's cold, but he yells something. You see him like, "Ah!"
As soon as he does that, can I spellcast and do increased reflexes?
You can, as he's going to take a shot at the van. So what we can do is anyone who wants can go ahead and do some initiative rolling. So the way that we roll initiative, let's go back to our page that we can just kind of look at stuff. So this is where we get into, virtual tabletop stuff. So click on your token.
Oh no. How do I get there? Okay.
So on the map, so if you see your guy there, You can click on the token. And then what you're going to do is on your character sheet, again, on that left-hand side, is the initiative in that first sort of box of main attributes.
I don't see it.
Before I do that, I should do my increase though, right?
You can.
Okay. I see my spell casting on here, but I don't see that specific spell. Is there somewhere I'm supposed to go for that?
So on the magic tab.
I don't have a magic tab.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't have a magic tab. One moment and we'll fix that.
Thank you. Oh wait. Oh, it's the ones at the top.
Yeah.
Now I found it.
Okay. Is the spell in there?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. So when you select it, it's going to ask you for the force. All right. So force 2. You got 5 hits. So
I
you'll
didn't
get.
realize I had so many dice. Cool.
Yep. And then you hit that little die there for the drain to see if you get see if you take any drain damage.
Nope.
No, not at all. So you're going to get that bonus of 2
Plus-
to your initiative and
plus
1
2
die.
plus 1d6.
All right, so go ahead and like I said, select your token and then roll initiative. That initiative, again, it's in the attributes where your body agility and everything is, but it's 1 over under your magic rating.
Aha.
Okay, so let's see. Is this adding people to my initiative tracker?
Is everyone supposed to be doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is working. It's working, everybody. They're going in.
So
What's this? Etienne rolled. Jen rolled
do I
a
need to
20,
roll?
but hers didn't go in. But yep, yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. There it goes. And there's Kaida. Yep. All right, everybody's went in. So good job. Everybody has rolled initiative for the first time successfully. We have successfully rolled initiative.
Thank you for announcing that.
Well done. So the results here are Gertrude rolled 20 and she gets to go first.
So I see this guy pointing a gun towards my beloved Darcy. So she's very important to me. So I would like to. Can I try and maneuver away from getting shot?
Yeah, like you can try to like gun the engine and start driving as fast as you can and like put maybe a vehicle or something between you and the gun.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so you're gonna gun the engine. Let's get that driving test.
Okay.
Now, because of the slip and slide. Okay. So your driving test is going to be at a -3. So let's find that real quick and add that negative modifier. So wait for it to load. Scroll down. And all right, cool. So yeah, that driving test on the left-hand side, it should just be your pilot ground craft.
All right,
Which
and
is
you
a
already
draw.
put in the modifier?
I
Or
did.
do I need to do it? Okay, thank you.
All right, so no problem. You managed to tamp down on that and get yourself driving forward without sliding or slipping or crashing into anything. So well done. And that is your action. So then next up is Etienne, who may or may not know what's going on.
I mean, the guy took a shot at the car, right?
Has not taken a shot yet. You did hear someone outside yelling. Not sure what that's
All
about.
right. I guess he's gonna get ready, take out the AK-97, unfold the folding stock, and open the gun port. Take a peek
All right.
outside and get ready to shoot at whomever is attacking the car.
All right, sounds good. So with all that, your action is done, but you do have the gun port open. You're looking. You do see a guy with a gun starting to point it towards Darcy. And then that brings us to Lila.
All right.
And
I
Lila,
think
you see this person as well because they're kind of front left of the vehicle.
okay, and Gertrude is kind of laid on the gas at this point, right?
Right.
All right. So given that, I'm gonna go ahead and unroll my window, and shout out, "Close your eyes!" in 3, 2, and then release a flashbang.
Okay, so you're throwing a flashbang at the guy.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your trigger on that flashbang? Is it a motion sensor or is it a timer?
Are you asking me to make that up now, or is that somewhere in my sheet?
You're gonna make that up right now, and that's gonna be your default.
It's on a timer.
It's on a timer. All right. So you throw that grenade, that flashbang, and it lands nearby. How nearby? I don't know. We're gonna make a throwing
Yay!
with your flashbang.
How do I do that?
So under arms, the tabs at the top where your magic tab is, there's an arms
I found
tab,
it.
and there's a flashbang button.
Yep. I just push that.
You just push it. Okay. So you throw this flashbang, and it lands honestly within 6 meters of him because it's a flashbang. And poof, it's in the snow now, right there, about 2 or 3 meters from the guy. And that is going to then end your turn. Satchel, something's happening.
Why are you gassing? The snow everywhere. Like, what is going on here? And so I'm trying to find my Ruger, but I am invisible, and I'm grab it, and like I'm just trying to position myself so I can like hop out of the van if I need to.
All right. And with that, Kaida.
He hasn't taken a shot yet, right?
You haven't heard that yet. No, you haven't heard anyone take a shot.
So what am I aware of?
You're aware that someone outside is yelling, and then Gertrude has slammed on the gas, and all of a sudden, like the back end is kind of fishtailing a little, and then it's like going.
So I haven't seen her throw the flashbang.
Oh no, you saw that. So yeah, and then you saw Lila like roll down the window and say, "Everybody, close your eyes," and then throw something. But then nothing happened.
Do I see the guy with the gun outside?
No, unless you like move up to the front to like look.
So all this is going on, and then I move into a position to where I can see what's happening. But the car hasn't stopped yet, correct?
No, it hasn't stopped. It's just starting to go.
So then, because I like to use magic, I'm going to cast Clout on the guy.
Okay. So you're going to cast Cloud on the guy.
Yes.
Your excitement is so exciting.
Palpable.
Well, to me, I'm like, look, I'm invisible, first of all, so he's not going to know, what's going on. Second of all, this way nobody has to fire any shots and there's not as much sound.
Right.
Drawing attention to the group. So I want to cast Clout. So what do I need? So I'm going to go.
So you kind of come up and you're like hanging on, like with one hand you grab the back of the passenger side seat so that you can kind of brace yourself, and you lean forward and you stick your hand out because you can't cast Clout through the glass because then you'll clout the glass. So you reach out and you kind of point.
I have a question though. I have a question.
Yes.
GM.
Yes.
Is it GM? Is that what the word I'm supposed to call you? GM?
GM. Yeah.
GM.
Or
so At one point, you said that I could cast magic as long as I could see the target.
You can, but if there's glass in the way, you're going to hit the glass first and then the target, right?
I guess. Okay. Cool.
So I mean,
So I
you can
reach
still
my
do
hand
it.
out.
I'm just saying, yeah. So you're just kind of reaching out of the front as best you can, and
Okay.
pointing. And so
Okay.
go ahead, and what you're going to do is you're going to pick a force again on your count spell, which is going to determine your base damage and armor pen. So
So
two
the higher the force, the more it's gonna do. How much force do I need to knock him out?
you're probably not going to be able to knock him out in one hit, but you might make him really sad that he decided to point a gun at you guys.
But in theory, how much force do I need to knock him out?
You'd have to do probably like a force 10 and or maybe like a force 7 or 8 and get enough successes.
So I'm gonna go for force 8.
Whoa, look at this guy. He's going to do the dang thing. All right.
I-
So
Oh, no.
force 8.
Diving
Wow.
in.
What did this guy?
So I just
ever
press
do
that
again?
number.
Well, before you do it, real quick, let me get in
Okay.
here. You are on a so unfortunately we got to manage these modifiers. And since we all know players aren't going to manage their own negative modifiers,
Why are you planning for this to be negative? That's shade
What?
again.
what are you talking about? No, you've got 2 invisibility spells up, so it's a little bit harder to just like
Kamehameha, dude.
you're focusing on these 2 other spells. So go ahead
I
and
hear
now
you.
hit it.
So I put it in, and I'm pressing submit, right?
Correct. Force 8 submit.
Boom. I didn't see anything. Okay.
It's popped up. So 4 hits. That's actually pretty good considering that you're at a bit of a negative there. Go ahead and underneath it's drain 5. So you're going to click that 6-sided die to see how much damage you take from the drain.
It's asking me for a modifier.
No modifier.
Okay.
Boom. So you cast it, no problem. So this is going to do, unless he gets out of the way, which he doesn't know it's coming, so he's not going to avoid it.
'Cause I'm invisible.
Yes, he would try to dodge out of the way and not get hit. But you know what? He's not dodging, and so you clout him for the full 12. So now I'm going to see how much he ends up not taking by rolling his body and his armor -8, which, by the way, armor -8 doesn't leave him with a lot of armor left. So here we go. Yeah, about that. So yeah, so he kind of brings the gun, and you see this guy, and you hear, and so you just kind of reach up, and you're like, nah. And the guy just like, it's like he got hit with a wrecking ball in his chest, and he just, woof, and he flies in the air, and then just into a bank of snow. All you see is the imprint of a man in the snow. You don't see the guy anymore. Just a guy imprint, in this bank of snow.
Yes.
And yeah, so that is the thing that happened.
I
Now it's
love
his
how
turn.
I love how that happened. Was Durya, you were like, "How do I knock him out?" And Danny's like, "You can't knock him out." And you're like, "Watch me fucking knock him out."
Let's get him.
I ride
so
for
yeah,
my team, man. She said we got a body bag going in.
She's like, "Tell me what I can't do. I'll raise my eyebrow at you."
Right. Don't shade me on national internet.
all right. With that, it's his turn, but he's going to spend his turn being unconscious. So that
What is going on?
So that brings us to the top of the initiative because whoever he was yelling to are responding. And, well, I mean, you don't have to make a reaction dodge test because no one's shooting at you. And you careen down the way. And that could have gone a lot worse, I suppose. But yeah, looks like somebody had decided to raid that checkpoint, and then you guys kind of came on the scene. It's another day in the containment zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you guys, the crew continues driving. Does Gertrude, after a few blocks, kind of let off the gas a bit, or does she continue just?
I'll say that if it looks like there's no more surprises sort of lurking around, that she'll slow down a little bit, maybe to control some of the fishtailing. And she'll let Satchel know. She's like, you don't shoot at Darcy. That's just rude.
Who was shooting at Darcy?
They didn't get the chance to, from what I saw. What was that?
You saw something?
And he kind of pokes his head out of like the little slot with the gun port, and he's like, "Yeah, it was ready to." And he closes back and folds the AK.
Oh,
All right.
I mean,
So with that
For
excitement,
becoming a team here and everything, and us working well together. And I look at Satchel and I go, "But you're really gonna have to start paying attention, okay, buddy?"
who?
well, she looks at where Satchel's voice came from. At any rate,
Yes, I look judgmentally at the air.
Alrighty.
so all right. So with that, yeah, you guys travel on and eventually arrive without too much more trouble to Garfield Park. And here is Garfield Park. So the park it's not small. What are your thoughts on approaching this situation?
Is that a group question?
Am I familiar with what part of the CZ? Like, are we close to the Shattergraves? Are we?
You are not close to the Shattergraves. You're mostly kind of just inside. Let's see here, Garfield Park.
And I'm guessing with my lack of Chicago street knowledge, I don't know if like we're in a specific gang territory or anything.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what area you're in as far as that goes, but yeah, you're not too far to the south.
How come I think of all these knowledge skills I need after I create my character?
Yes, you're directly west from the Noose,
Okay.
but not super close to it, you know.
All right, everyone, have your eyes peeled, and we're getting close.
Didn't
Yeah.
you say you could look for the signal or something? Or lack
Yeah.
of signal?
Yeah, I'll try and see if I can find anything around here. And I guess I'm gonna roll for Matrix Perception.
Yep, that sounds right. So what you're gonna do is go into your character sheet, and under computer, because this is a computer check, you'll see that it's set at logic as your thing. So, and it's also set to mental, I think. So what you can do is you can change those so that it can be intuition for a matrix perception, and you can change the limit to data processing.
Ooh. Let me have a look at my deck to make sure I have my things set up properly.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, it's really cool that you can set all this stuff up and have these roles and everything pop up. Cassie did a really good job with this.
Maybe for our intermission ads next week, we can do one for Roll20 and give Cassie some props. Promote her Patreon.
That would be great. Yeah. So, all right. Everything should be fine, and I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
That's disappointing. I'm gonna use a point of edge for that, I think, because we need. Or
Yeah.
I can also just keep on going at -1 die. Is that a possibility, or is that an house rule that I don't remember?
So generally, you can try things again at the negatives, but yeah. So you can keep looking. I mean, that's it's right now. There's no time constraint on you. It is getting pretty dark. It's getting to the point where it's almost nighttime. Like there's a little bit of light as the sun's like kind of on the edge of the horizon. Um, so there's not really a time constraint. So you can go ahead and give that a go.
Well, he's gonna communicate to the rest of the team. I can't find anything for now. Maybe we keep on driving. You guys keep your eyes open on the outside, and I do the computer thing again.
We got your back.
Well, thank you. And yeah, since this is pretty important. Let's pass out in VR so we can get a little bit of sweet bonuses.
Sounds good to me. As that's happening, for Kaida, since the invisibility was only really necessary to get through the checkpoint, did Kaida go ahead and drop those spells?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. He dropped the spells once we got into the CZ. Does that mean that I can start like replenishing those 2 points of?
Right. So as soon as you're not focusing on those anymore, you definitely have stopped focusing on that. So you're good.
So that drain is gone that we talked about?
Not the drain. The damage you took is still the damage you took, but the negatives you get for focusing, like having to focus your concentration on maintaining magic, that's gone.
Okay.
So you're back to full focus.
Okay.
All right. Yep. And as Etienne is continuing to look for this signal, is Gertrude just kind of driving around the park, or is she going to park somewhere or driving into the park?
I figure I'd drive around the perimeter first, doing sort of that slow roll to try and help in case there's a bad matrix signal or whatever might be going on. And I mean, if we can drive right to the spot, then I have no problem with that.
All right. So yeah, kind of driving around the park. You get to a point, Etienne, where you're looking around, trying to find this thing, and it looks like just with the static and maybe with the degradation of whatever the routers that you're trying to replace, that the signal that it might be giving off, if any, is too weak for you to see just yet, as that vehicle is driving around the park.
He sends like messages to the others via the matrix to let them know that he hasn't found it yet, but he's still looking.
All right. So yeah, the van is cruising around. Do we have?
Didn't you say something about a tower or antennas or something like that?
The tower's at Midway.
Oh, okay.
In this location, it's just going to be a tiny box in a tree. So we're really going to have to rely on the unconscious one to find it for us, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and make another roll as Thomas, as you guys drive down this street on the side. And for everyone who has given up some NERPs, we talked about NERPs earlier. Just a quick breakdown. NERP stands for non-essential role-playing supplement. Basically, we use that as a sort of the generic brand anything. So when you use a NERPs, what would be fun, I think, is besides calling out thanks to whoever gave you the the bonus is if you come up with some like thing, like where are you getting this help from? Like maybe, you have you're able to tape something onto a thing, or you got some dental floss out and we're able to tie a thing around. Just as you can. It's not you don't have to do it, but just because where that whole idea comes from.
And what are the effects of the NERPs when we use it? Let's say
Get
I want to
dice.
have 3+3. Okay.
+3 to your dice pool. So.
Ooh, +3.
Yep. So go ahead and make that next roll as you're riding down this way.
Actually, I'm going to use my NERPs, and thank you to whomever gave it to me. Funktune. Thank you. And what he's going to do is, for a minute, he's going to pop back in reality and plug his satellite link. He takes out a little dish satellite and he like plugs it in his deck, and he stick it next to him and he spins it around. And he's like, I'm just gonna get that running. Maybe I can cut through more noise and then get a ping from that thing, because it's I don't know where it is. And he just slumps back down as soon as it's set up, like a sack of potato, and he's gonna try again with a +3.
All right. So while he's rolling that, I'm gonna explain to Durya, since this is his first game. So Etienne is basically going into the matrix, right? So you can see the computer stuff around you and mess with it that way through like your Google glasses and your device and everything. But in the future, like you can actually go there like with your brain in full virtual reality, and that means like you actually have to like lay down somewhere. You kind of close your eyes, and then your brain, your consciousness actually goes into the matrix, and then you can float around and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So whenever the Decker slumps down like that, it's probably because that's what's happening. You have something similar where you can astrally project, and you need to find a nice, comfortable place to set your body down, because then you're going to actually project your spirit into the spirit world, as it were. So.
But my question is, and this is also in reference to the NERPs, do I have to use them like when I get them?
You can bank them, but we'd like to have everyone use all their stuff sometime during the session.
You're right. But where there's other stuff we have to do, right?
Right. There's still stuff going on, and so whenever it kind of pops up, you can go ahead and add those in. Yep, for sure.
Because he's doing the connecting with the matrix, so there's really no need to maybe astral project right now.
But you could use the NERPs like when you cast another spell, or
yes, that's what I was thinking,
or whatever. Yeah, we just definitely want to try to use them in the same session, because like we want to interact with our chat that's giving us these great gifts.
Yes, I saw that Funktune. I like saying that because it sounds like I'm saying something else. That he gave me those, or she. So thank you very much, and I'm going to use them when I'm ready to use some magic. So I'm excited.
All right. So you also have a point of free edge from Day Gamer that you can use. When the time comes. All right. So and then Thomas has a SmackDown as well, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. But using that NERPs and taking taking out this little satellite dish brought me up to 7 hits. So.
Okay, your data processing, however.
Damn it, is 5.
Is it 5? So you don't get to keep all of those hits, unfortunately. You only get to keep the ones that go up to your limit, which this says 5, but maybe 4, but maybe it's 5 because you have like a program loaded in that it isn't tracking.
Should be, yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, you do not catch a signal as you continue driving around.
Okay.
So if you want Durya to project astrally, you can maybe try to see if there's anything you can see from the astral.
Okay. Okay. See, that worked out. So I'm gonna. So after Etienne attempts to do his matrix connecting and it doesn't work. Am I using? I don't see a spell that does that.
So the astral projecting.
I don't see that.
It is not a spell. It's just an ability. So you don't have to roll for anything. You just got to set your body down so it doesn't fall and you don't crack your head open.
And then roll.
And no, you don't even got to roll. You just do it.
Okay. Oh.
So
and then okay, but before I do it, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
No. Yeah, you just do it, and then you're in the astral. So and then I'll kind of explain what happens since this is your first time.
So I find a spot and then I sit very comfortably. I take a moment to gather my thoughts, and then I look over to Felicia and I throw my eyebrow up, and then I go into the astral world.
Okay. And then eyes close. And you feel yourself lift from your body, and it's a familiar experience for Kaida because he's done this plenty of times. And immediately, just sort of like the whole idea of the kind of stepping out, you get a flash as you see kind of nothing around you. It's like the world has disappeared, and that's because you're inside of a van. And inside of the van, the walls would just be opaque completely, even the glass in the front, because anything that's material and solid just shows up as blankness in the astral plane. However, the auras of the people in the vehicle with you are very bright and colorful. You don't get a chance to get a read on them because, once again, as you kind of move into the astral like that, the van is still going, and so all of a sudden you just kind of feel that woof as the back of the van passes through you, and now you're outside of the van, seeing the sort of dark shape, dark square of the van kind of moving away, and you're out in the world, and you're kind of hovering just above what would be the ground, looking around, and you can see that there's brilliant color in all directions from you as the trees are living, and so those things give off auras, and so anything alive is giving off that aura. So any grass, any trees, anything like that. Now a lot of the grass is under the snow, so that you can't see. It's blanked out because water is material and you can't see through it. But some of the trees you can see their trunks are glowing and whatnot. And you also are kind of looking around maybe for any other signs of life, like are there any spirits in the air kind of flying around, or is there any body moving, or any animals? And you don't see that just yet. So what do you want to do? Movement, by the way, in the astral plane is you think it and you go in that direction. There is no gravity.
So the goal in us doing this is to connect with. He was looking at comms connect, and I'm looking for where the box is, just to be sure of what I'm.
Right, you're trying to figure out if there's a way, maybe in the astral, that you can see something that can give off maybe a clue for where this box is.
Okay, so I'm in the astral, and I remember that she said the box. So I think about the box, right?
Right. So you think about like maybe a dark box shape that might be in like a top of one of the trees. That's maybe like So you'll see like the light of the tree, and then you'll see like a blank space in there. So yeah, go ahead, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you making a sensing test. So this is a skill that you have.
I do have that skill. So that's gonna be. I see it. Ooh, maybe I don't want to do that. It's really low.
Well, there's nothing. You're not gonna break hurt anything. Or if you want, you can also use that NERPS to get 3 extra dice.
And I'm sensing for the. Let's do that. Come on. So then it's asking for a modifier.
Yeah. So that's gonna be 3.
3. Bet. Okay.
All right. So you got 1 hit. What you can do is you can just kind of keep looking. There's nothing that says you can't do that. Or you can take that edge that you have and use it to re-roll those missed, so that you then would just roll your looks like 6 dice.
Let's do that. I want to re-roll with the edge.
All right. So on your character sheet, there's this little dice icon at the top. You're just going to hit that and enter 6.
Okay.
And so that edge was from Day Gamer. Thank you. As you get another 2 hits towards that, you see something kind of in the distance that looks a little odd. You're uncertain what to make of it. It seems like there's a sort of a darkness ahead that that's kind of throwing
It's
you
out
a
of
bit.
place.
So, yeah, it looks a little out of place. So
Got you. Okay. So then after I see that, I return to my body.
Mhm.
I am back and it's business time, so I don't like side shade Felicia this time. And instead I tell the group that
I
can
think she just thinks you're flirting with her.
and that's okay. We'll explore that because maybe that's low key how he flirts. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, why does he keep raising his eyebrow at me? What does that mean?
So okay, so then
Final
I
thing.
tell everybody, hey, there's something up ahead that gives me pause. So we should travel in this direction. I think we might find clues there. And so I then navigate, or I tell Gertrude where to drive. Is that?
Yeah, so
Does
you
that
tell
work?
her to basically to bust a Yui, and then head
Okay.
back north up the same street that you guys were on,
Okay.
and then into the park. Because so if you look and see where the van is and where I'm pinging. You can ping this map, any map that you're on. If you just like put your mouse over a portion and then like just hold down the mouse key, that will actually ping a little notification. So this is where your tree is that I'm
I don't
pinging
see
here.
a map. Do you guys see a map?
Yeah, I think you're still. That's all on GM
Oh.
there, buddy.
Who did that?
There it is.
Good Lord. So yeah, you guys have been driving around this park. It's just, you know, it's been here the whole time. Yeah. So yeah, it's this tree here. As the van is now driving up. All right, Gertrude. So as you're pulling up here, you're getting close to where Durya saw the thing, or where Kaida saw the thing.
Are there any kind of barricades between the street and the grass?
No. There's a lot of water here. There's this looks like maybe you can see like the snow is kind of blown off patches of ice on either side of the road, but there's definitely where the grass is, there's no barricades that keep you from entering or exiting the road.
So, how good are y'all at climbing trees? If we're thinking that this is in the tree somewhere, or do you want me to try and pull up under the tree so you can stand on top of Darcy to try and get to it?
Yeah, I think parking
Are
underneath
elves
might be.
naturally? Yeah, I agree.
So, as long as there's no sort of hot pursuit, I will try and drive very carefully to get underneath the trees, or as close as possible to it.
All right. So with that, you kind of drive, you make this left turn, and then kind of park, and you do get to kind of roll up under the tree. It's definitely some of the trees, the branches are kind of low, but they're not thick, so you're able to push through them without feeling like it's gonna scratch anything or break anything or rip a mirror off or something. And you kind of get under the tree that Kaida was talking about. And there you are.
All right, we have work to do.
Yes, says Etienne as he takes the first box of pieces he have and his tools to get on top of the truck.
I'll get out as well and kind of take a look around and make sure that there's nothing sneaking up on us.
And I'll
Okay.
come with you. Just be extra hands or be there if stuff starts messing with you.
And I lean against the car and I look in the direction that no one else is looking in to make sure that we're covered.
All right. So with that, the van is parked, and you folks are kind of hanging out here around the van. Who is not getting out of the van?
I'm gonna stay in and keep the engine running,
Okay.
just in
So-
case
Keep
someone
the
gets
heat
mad
on.
that we drove on the grass.
Okay. So yeah, everyone's kind of out, kind of pulling some sort of kind of protection. Who's climbing up into the tree, or who's looking up into the tree? Could be all of you.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look up in the tree at least. Try and climb on the top of the van and look up in the tree, see where's the box.
So give us a quick perception test.
Look at that. I don't have perception. Give me a minute.
Oh goodness.
You don't have perception?
Gonna have to roll default.
Oh,
I thought I did, but I don't.
you-
I'll roll perception. Can I look into the tree?
Yes, by all means, all of you can look into the tree.
we need to get our Decker some glasses or contacts.
All
I got
right.
cyber eyes.
So just so you note, Etienne, so when you do that default, you're gonna have to change your stat to
Oh.
whatever's.
Oh,
right?
it's agility. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, but that's okay. You got one hit, I think, because just kind of taking off the ones from the back end as we
Mhm.
go. So we'll call that one hit. So you're kind of looking up and you're not sure. You think you see it up there, maybe about 10 meters. But Satchel, you definitely see what looks like a box up there.
It's right up here between these two branches.
Ah, I see something, but
Hey,
further?
I'm sorry. It was Kato, right?
Kaida.
Kaida.
I was thinking the same thing. I might even drop my eyebrow. Huh? Are you gonna ask me to levitate it toward me?
Oh,
Yes.
talk magic to me.
Because I like to use magic. Okay. So Kaida, also he's low-key telepathic. So sensing that Flea was about to ask me to levitate, I turn to her. I throw up my eyebrow again and say, well, I thought you'd never ask. And then I cast levitate to get the box to me.
Okay, so the box itself is attached to the tree. So
so then I
it
don't
seems
cast
like
levitate.
get someone up to the box.
Oh, so someone has to go up there. So then I
don't
say,
know. I don't know what you guys were planning on doing with that here, but if you could bring me up there, that'd be that's perfect.
I could do that. Could I levitate him up to the top of the tree?
Absolutely.
Then I do that.
See?
So I move out of the way so he can get aligned, and I ask him if he's prepared.
I mean, I got the tools strapped to my armor, and I got the things they asked me to change. So yeah.
Okay, and then I cast levitate.
All right.
Oh.
So you're gonna cast levitate. You're
Yes.
going to choose a force.
So that's what that modifier is.
Yeah. So when you hit it, and then the
Okay.
first modifier that comes up. So different dice rolls, that thing that pops up is not always going to be the same thing. So in this case,
Right.
it's the force.
Okay, and then how much force do I need to successfully put him up there and bring him down?
You're thinking maybe well, I mean, just one really, as long as but it's just the higher the force, the kind of the faster you can do it.
So I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay.
It's no, Danny. Okay, so it's asking me for two values. One is his input, and the other one said force. So I'm guessing the force should be 3. What should the first one be? It says input value, modifiers. So should that be 0?
Oh yeah, for that one should be 0 because you don't have any.
Okay. And then 3. Okay.
Right.
Boom.
All right. That was a roll. 6 5 6 5 6 1 1 6 6 6 6 6 6 3 3. Yeah. The drain of looks like 2 was what the drain would end up being. So you don't get any drain from that. You get the full hits out of the thing. You only get to keep the 3 because that was the force. So you can move Etienne at a rate of 3 meters for every 3 seconds, or 1 meter a second. So it only takes about 10 seconds to raise Etienne up to the box.
Oh, that's weird.
Right.
Don't talk
and
while
then-
I levitate. I get distracted.
Oh shit! Okay. Shut my up.
But you're still talking. You're still talking. Stop it.
Oh shit!
No, don't do that. Okay. And then I resume lifting.
All right. So Etienne gets up to the box, and it looks like it has a fairly simple catch for you to open, and you do so. And inside you can see the old. It looks old. It looks like it's been in there a while. It doesn't look cracked or broken or anything, but it definitely looks like it's old, and so probably it's just kind of at the end of its life.
Okay. Well, now that I have it straight in my face, does it still emit a signal?
It's intermittent. Like you get the signal, but then it goes away.
Okay. All right. Well, he gets to work trying to remove the defunct relay and installs a new one. Just like he did back home.
All right. So go ahead and give me that hardware and logic test.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with someone gave me auto hit since the beginning of the game, so I'm gonna use that. I don't think changing a matrix fuse box requires a smackdown, but one auto hit might be just. Oh yeah, I still have to roll it. So yeah, hardware.
Yep.
Why is it not rolling? Here we go. Just a little bit of delay. 3 hits. I use my auto hit and add a 4th one. And I fix the box.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, it takes you a little bit, maybe about 5 minutes or so. Sorry, I'm right now interacting with the chat, which I'm not supposed to do, but because
Danny.
Mr. Loper is in the chat.
Oh, because of that, you've got to suck up instead of following your own rules.
I gotta suck up. Well, you know, he wrote something, right? And so I just thought, like, you know, it. We, you know, see what Mr. Loper had to say. But it seems like there's a lot of kindness coming from Mr. Loper right now. So, okay. Yeah, so you pull out the old piece, and then you get the new repeater in there, and you're able to sort of get the connections going, and then as soon as it's sort of those connections just kind of provide the power as well, and you see this little like indicator light flash on, and it just starts blinking, you kind of look at it through your AR and you see that the signal that it is emitting is actually very strong, and yeah, it definitely you see it working. Like the ambient noise decrease is decreased by several factors. So
All right. Well, I just run the little like basic diagnostics and record the data that come with it just to be sure and have something to bring back to our employer. And then Etienne is gonna turn around from his weird floating position and go, "Yeah, why? I'm done. We're we're good."
I got you. I got you.
Stop that! Don't scare me like that. Come on, man. I know it's
Okay. Whew.
just step there. Bring me down, please.
And then once I have the go ahead, I bring him down slowly until his feet are okay. Okay.
So as you're slowly bringing Etienne down, all of a sudden, everyone hears this crack of a rifle report and just echoing throughout the entirety of the area. As
I hit the dirt.
I
Etienne,
roll behind the tree.
As I get shot from the air.
give me a straight up soak roll
Who is?
at -3 to that soak.
That's Etienne?
That's Etienne.
Yeah.
I believe Etienne does have a smackdown.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the smackdown because the sniper rifle, 11p base, so 15p minus 3 AP. I cannot beat that with my like armor jacket and a decent body. Not to flatter myself.
Right.
So I think the smackdown is gonna have to go. Yeah.
So yeah, from the very beginning of the session, Thomas did get a smackdown, which he's going to use to get 4 net hits on his soak. So 4 hits over what he needed to just not take damage is how I see that one. So
Funkertoon, you saved me. You helped me earlier, but now you're saving my ass, and I thank you for that.
however, the old repeater that you're kind of bringing down, as that rifle report goes off, it just shatters in your hand because that's what actually took the hit. And you kind of lose it, and everybody realizes suddenly that somebody out there is gunning for you. And with that, we're gonna close the session.
Oh no!
Damn.
So a little bit of a cliffhanger there. This is one of my favorite moments in this particular mission. Is the sudden attack that happens, and yeah, cliffhanger or Decker hanger. So this was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you guys, and also fun for everybody that tuned in. I think we were hovering around 30 for most of this, which is pretty good for us in our first episode here for this particular one. We will be back every Tuesday running these, and we'll probably take a break for like Christmas or something, and then if something special comes up or whatever, we might take some breaks. But yeah, this was really fun, and if we're gonna close this out, and then I think that I'm gonna be back in about 10 minutes right here on Twitch for maybe just a few minutes to kind of didn't get really a chance to interact with the chat. So just kind of maybe talk with the chat about some stuff, whatever they want to ask or say. To the cast, you're welcome to hang out as well, but I do know that some of you are East Coast and it's getting pretty late for you out there. So if you cannot, we totally understand. but definitely want to just hang out and talk to some of these folks who've been sitting with us for the last 3 hours going over this. So
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
yeah, with that, we'll close the session. We'll see everybody next week for the session, and we'll see everybody else who's sticking around in the next we'll say 5 minutes.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, to follow us on Twitter, follow us on join our Discord, and we also have a Patreon where bonus content includes the character creation sessions with each of us and Danny as we built our characters. So join us on Patreon. A little really does help us out. So thank you guys all for joining us.
All right.
You guys are awesome. This was fun.
This is
All
dope.
right, that was super fun.